Hi there folks, Jonathan Wilson, TogaMan GuitarViols. Hope you are all well. Anyway, today I'm just going to go into sort of a, I don't know, kind of a George Gammon kind of thing with the whiteboard, but you won't be seeing it too much. I have to operate that way though, it's kind of funny. My whole day has got these little tablets and I'm running around process of elimination. So it's part of the whole mad science thing, which I'm going to get into in a moment here. First of all, I wanted to do a couple shout outs actually. One is to Phil Bushier, who did this video game Fortnite, and he had a very nice interview. A few kind words, I'm going to share them with you. This was pretty cool. This just came out. It's on his Instagram. It said, anytime I don't know what instrument to use on a project, it's a guitar. The GuitarViols is the first thing I try, basically. Because it's got 1,000 voices, and I'm barely learning how to scratch the surface of what it can do. It's created by this one sort of mad scientist guy called Jonathan Wilson. Okay, thank you. Who makes them all himself. Actually, I do have Andrew on board out in the deck. This is the wheelhouse, there's the deck out there, so I want to give a little shout out to Andrew. Proud of you, man. Anyway, which is usually ludicrous long wait time to get your hands on one. But let me tell you, it's worth it once you get it. Thank you so much, and shout out to Phil and Fortnite. Okay, so basically, also I wanted to give a shout out to Justin Melland, who just moved up to the upper left coast of our country, somewhere up in the Pines. Shout out to Justin. Justin just is coming out on Netflix. I believe it's The Sons of Sam. I guess there's a new twist and not acting alone. Anyway, he's sort of the king of the, what I would call the high profile crime genre. So anyway, shout out to Justin too. And to all of you I haven't gotten to, you are awesome, and we're gonna have an exceedingly awesome day. Going forward with that though, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that are front and center. In my hand I'm holding among the latest, this one's sort of a hybrid constructed instrument out of both flax and really beautiful outer veneer wood. And I'm going in the composites directions for a variety of reasons. Some of it is, well, I'm just feeling the green, you know. It's we're dealing with sort of this chaos of various new rules to play by, and it just seems a lot of things are going in that direction. For example, even just buying something simple like denatured alcohol for varnish that I would traditionally use on a traditional build. Such as this. This is actually among the last of them I'm doing. I know I've had a lot of fans with these things. However, it's a new time and we're going to adjust, and we are adjusting very well. Anyway, you can see this is a beautiful one I'm finishing up for Ryan Sunagawa. Shout out to Ryan. I'll get this out to you. I'm going to be working on it a little while actually. We'll get this crated up. We have crate construction going on out here. It's quite an operation, I gotta tell you. And anyway, but this particular finish I've been doing for many years involves the use of melted bug exoskeletons in denatured alcohol, or if you, it used to be you can get Everclear or Bacardi 151. Wouldn't get much done though if that stuff was around, but anyway, that, you know, to melt the bug exoskeletons, there's, I guess, culinary spirits. It's just getting to be like a shrinking little hole, and I'm kind of done. And by the way, these type of things are I would say they're more performance rather than repeatable. I mean, they're process. They all are one piece of art. They come out differently, but they can also be sort of a bottleneck, and that's why I build fewer instruments of this variety, just because it has an ugly domino effect over time. We build a limited amount of maybe 30-ish instruments. We're going to try to push that up a bit with some new processes. But my point is that we have so much bandwidth we have to work with. So if I have to do either one of these a month or three of the other, or four, you know, it's like, it takes a lot more to do it, and I have to have the temperatures and the dancing conditions just right to get this done. If it's too humid, too hot, a lot of this kind of stuff. So anyway, the other reason is I have one bagged up in here and it's being humidified. I don't think you can see this on camera. Yeah. Anyway, I have to keep a certain humidity level on it because what happens is woods can just kind of split and crack, and particularly exotic ones. I haven't worked with exotics for quite a long time. Most of what I've been doing in the last decade has been, I would say, North American woods like maples and spruces. Not so much anything like rosewoods or ebonies or anything like that. And when you come to California with that stuff and you just basically throw that stuff in a tropical wood in a desert, you're asking for it. But even any other kind of wood, so we have to like deal with the fact that woods will expand and contract with different climates, and it becomes a real high maintenance game. That's kind of like chasing the ocean off the beach with a broom constantly. You're monitoring your humidity, you're doing all this kind of stuff, and then believe me, I can go down a whole story of how that stuff evolved over time in my own existence. So I really feel it's time, and we have been working on this for several years now, and now we're just starting to kind of get into a launching sort of process. So this type of build here is pretty much, Ryan's getting the last one of its type for a while, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. This one here is typical of one of the, well, actually not typical. This one's particularly incredibly gorgeous. This has got this beautiful maple and spruce top. Again, these were very typical of what we were doing. It's just become, a thing where we have to kind of shift and pivot a bit. So anyway, Don's getting this one out in Michigan, I believe. And so I'm going to get this out. I got a couple waiting crates. It's always a lot to do, just balancing the wheelhouse business end of things, and then going out on deck and furling a few sails, if you know what I mean, and taking a little waves and mist and that sort of thing. So it's a lot. Shout out to all of you who wait a while on my instruments. It is what it is, and some of this stuff is delegation resistant, and I gotta tell you, even more so now. But anyway, but I'm blessed to have Andrew on deck, and we're moving forward with all our might. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about what some of these directions are. So with this particular build, this we can do in a lot of different things. This particular one here has a cool outer veneer. This one is pretty amazing, and this one's a combination of carbon fiber and outer, just absolutely gorgeous. This is a piece I would not normally be able to use because this has got all this kind of where the branches grew out. It's sort of, this one's symbolic, I think, of the new branch of what we're doing and these kind of things. So shout out to anybody who's hung in on this video this long, but I really did want to kind of give you sort of like a real nice postcard of what's happening here. So these are both typical of what we can expect in sort of like this hybrid thing, and I'm going to maybe refer to that in the Voyage series, which I'm still sorting all that stuff out. Right now our menu is like a shuffle salad, and we're just curating the best of the ingredients. We're really getting everything really, so where it's repeatable, but also we can have some fluid ability to really, mess around. This one's got a very nice top on it. This one is a prototype that we constructed out of some leftover mahogany that we had. So we're basically clearing off our major lumber shelves, and this was done in the process. This one's a 5-string. And so this one's basically like a cello tuning, so it's like C, G, D, A, E. And so we're offering the thing I'm best known for, the 6-string E tuning on the guitar viol. which is guitar formatted and allows for a lot of, you know, wonderful chord and polyphony options that are normally not that accessible. But for somebody who's more of a violin or say cello native or viola native, this is pretty cool. So we can play it the same way that we would a guitar viol, it's just the strings are in the tuning. But we can also, you know, it could be treated like somebody could put a strap on it and treat it like a viola pomposa. So it's got a very versatile application range, and we could load this thing with, like the other ones, with some good pickups, and they're just very inspiring little things. And what I'd like to see is, you know, a combination of that one and that one in a musical composition where we're playing on the strengths of fifths tuning in its particular parts, and then taking advantage of the polyphonic and arpeggio aspects of the guitar viol, because, you know, we have basically in this situation we have, you know, I'm going to try to play a little garden variety. I'm standing up here, so this is not, so we can take care of, you know, throw in some of those type of things, and so kind of some cool compositions, I think. Anyway, I'm going to have a little cup of joe. I like to have my morning cup of joe. I've been actually looking into the ones that have lion's mane mushroom in them. So anybody ever try that stuff, give me a shot. Probably going to try that myself. Anyway, save California. So, I'm going to go through the basics of the series. So, we're doing this whole composite project here was sort of an outgrowth in sort of a off-road left turn or right turn, or if you will, whatever you want to say, into the, you know, what's the hybrids. The hybrids are based on this design. So, you know, we're just basically using different construction on that. Originally, though, I mean, going back 5-6 years, I've been working on these composites with the 10X project, and I have these Unimal style ones, and I'm going to be returning to that. But in the transition we were kind of thrown into, especially 2019, 2020, it became clear that the path we were on with these was just not going to be an easy one going forward. Logistically, with milling processes, the stop and start process, the planning, and you throw the ball and it doesn't bounce where you think it's going to bounce type of thing. So I needed to have something very predictable and also practical that's going to hold up. I'm not going to have to worry about the humidity. And we had a shop before that, and another story another time, that was, you know, very controlled humidity. We're putting these things into very real conditions, and that's what I want to do, is make sure that I can build these things, and they're going to go out. We're not going to have any, like, you know, cracking issues and things like that. So we'll see. We're going to build, you know, the best of what we've got, the best of the state of the art. Fluid, natural, nimble, on the fly, Jack Me Quick. So the Journey model will be basically one of these hybrids, except this one has the carbon fiber on the inside, and we've got the outer composite. So anyway, this particular one, it's gorgeous. So like I like to think of this as the new branch. I don't know, maybe I'm going to name it that. But the Journey would have basically the carbon fiber on the outside, or the flax, and we're just, like I said, we're in a fluid little salad toss because I'm trying a lot of different things. So those of you who are early adopters of any of this stuff are going to get the best version of what I could do that day, and they're coming out pretty nice, by the way. And it'll be a unique piece, but it's also just like a little kind of pebble in the evolution pyramid, I guess. You know, it just sort of, we going incrementally, and that's basically what I've been up to this whole time. I mean, a lot of people think I'm a luthier, I'm a builder of this instrument. Actually, mad scientist, according to Phil. And it is mad science, by the way. But it's not something that happens in a vacuum. This is spread out over a few decades, and I'm not trying to copy what I did yesterday. I am trying to, you know, push it to its next logical, you know, step. And I think we are also creating, you know, more repeatable things, and that way we can you know, ensure a really consistent, you know, fingerboard feel, sound, all that kind of stuff. And it's been an exciting time. I'm going to give another little quick talk about some of the stuff we're working on too. Is many of these are loaded with pickups, like for example the LR Bags Lyric, and we kind of phantom power it on the outside with an EMG box. We're also trying a different system by David Enke out in Colorado. I think his company is Open to Source. Open to Source. Shout out to David. And you know, we were trying some different things, some dual systems and passive active kind of stuff. So anyway, we're also in a fluid development of other things on that front. Anyway, I know it's a lot to take in, a lot of too much information for you, I know that. But I really feel that it's very important to at least have a bit of a blog on this. And I'm going to do a little bite minute that is just sort of a quick little 1 minute long thing. So I'm going to do the minute coffee bite, and the next one it'll be sort of the morning lecture. I don't know what we're going to call this. It's sort of menu kaizen, you know, just sort of a shuffling of the menu. And so I'm going to go by the rule of 7 too on some perhaps, and I'm going to talk about this. So with the Journey series, the Voyage series, which is pretty much going the distance. A little more of the eye candy wood kind of thing going on, rather than, you know, like a plain black look or whatever. The concert series will be kind of jumping off much higher from this point, where it's, you know, very, very limited wood curation, that kind of thing. So I'm not out of the game completely, except I'm going to build very, 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 very few of them, because we have a yearly budget and we have to just make all this stuff work. So. But the concert series is going to be very, you know, as serious as it gets. And that's going to be probably, I'm going to price it to scare everybody off, okay? So just don't get too excited, unless you really want to invest in things that are sort of like some other things I'm going to talk about another time, but we're using the best available materials. Traditional methods, glues, and that kind of stuff on this thing. Or we might go down a different road, but that would be a much more consuming project. Perhaps we can do a charter retreat package with that. We can do some sailing, we can do some crazy stuff, and I'm into boats too, so there you go, Salt and Light, see? You see my shirt there, it's got a nice boat. Actually, my uncle was a famous sail designer back in the J-boat days, so this kind of stuff I like. Anyway, I know I'm rambling. So we're going to go into the Journey, the Voyage, and the concert series. This little curious silhouette over here, by the way, is this is a pattern. I may be doing a guitar version out of these, the same pattern. So it would be using the same technology, except the fingerboard geometry will have to be that of a guitar, and so we'll have to morph a few things around. So we've got some fun stuff. Reach out if you have any questions on any of this stuff. I know it's a lot. Thank you for hanging in there. Have an exceedingly awesome day. Be inspired, and remember, April is the month of hope.